How a $35,000 car is quietly destroying your net worth. The true cost nobody shows you.
Okay, so picture this. You're sitting in the dealership. The salesman slides a piece of paper across the table. Monthly payment, $487. And something inside your brain goes, okay, I can do $487 a month. That's completely manageable. You sign the paperwork, you drive off the lot, you feel amazing. The new car smell, the heated seats, the Bluetooth, the backup camera that makes you feel like you're operating a spaceship. And then, 3 months later, you're wondering why you feel broke. You're wondering why, even though you're making decent money, your bank account just never seems to grow. And you can't quite figure out what changed. Here's the thing. Nothing changed. You just made a decision that's costing you way more than $487 a month, and nobody in that dealership, not the salesman, not the finance manager, not the guy who detailed your car, not one single person told you the full number. Because if they did, you might have walked out. Today, I'm going to show you that full number. And I'm warning you right now, it's going to be uncomfortable. But if you actually sit with it, if you actually let it land, it might be the most important thing you watch this year. Let's talk about the true cost of a $35,000 car. Look, I want to start by being real with you. A $35,000 car is not a luxury vehicle. This isn't a Porsche. This isn't a BMW 7 Series. We're talking about something completely average. A Honda CR-V, a Toyota Camry XSE, a Ford F-150 base trim. These are the regular, hardworking, normal income Americans are buying every single day. And according to Kelley Blue Book, as of 2023, the average transaction price for a new vehicle in the United States crossed $48,000. So $35,000, we're actually talking below average here. We're being conservative. And yet, even at $35,000, the numbers are going to make your jaw drop. So let's do this properly. Let's actually walk through every single layer of this cost. Because most people only think about one layer, maybe two, but there are 6. And by the time we get to layer 6, I think you're going to have a very different relationship with how you think about cars. Layer 1 is the one everybody talks about, the purchase price, $35,000. Okay, fine. But wait, are you actually paying $35,000? Almost certainly not. Because the average American doesn't walk into a dealership with $35,000 cash, they finance it. And when you finance a $35,000 vehicle over 72 months, which by the way is now the most common loan term according to Experian, at an average interest rate that as of 2024 sits around 7.1% for new car loans, you are not paying $35,000. You're paying closer to $42,500. Just in purchase price and interest alone, you've already spent $7,500 more than you thought. And we haven't even started yet. Layer 2 is depreciation. And this is the one that actually physically hurts me to talk about. Because this is where the real money bleeds out quietly, invisibly, while you're just driving around feeling good about yourself. Here's how depreciation works. The moment you drive that car off the lot, it loses somewhere between 9 and 11% of its value, not after a year, not after 6 months, the moment you drive it off. That's $3,500 to $3,850 gone in the first mile you drive. After the first year, most vehicles have lost around 20% of their value. After 5 years, you're looking at 40 to 60% gone. On a $35,000 car, that's $14,000 to $21,000 that simply evaporates. You can't get it back. It's not there. You paid for it. You just don't have it anymore. There's a reason financial people call a new car a depreciating asset. It's the opposite of an investment. Every single day you own it, it is worth less than it was the day before. It is the anti-investment. And yet somehow, we treat buying a car like an achievement. Now here's where I want to pause and tell you a story because I think this makes it real. I have a friend. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus is a smart guy, works in logistics, makes about $65,000 a year, which in most parts of the country is a solid middle-income salary. About 4 years ago, Marcus decides he wants a new truck. He's been driving a 2012 sedan for years, and he wants something that feels like him, something that matches where he is in life. He goes and buys a 2020 pickup truck, $38,000 out the door. Finances it at 6.4% over 60 months. The payment comes out to $740 a month. Now, Marcus told me it's only $740. Let me tell you what $740 a month is. It's $8,880 a year. On a $65,000 salary after taxes, Marcus has probably taken home maybe $50,000, so $8,880 is roughly 18% of his entire take-home pay, going to one vehicle. Before insurance, before gas, before maintenance, just the payment. And Marcus is wondering why he can't save. Marcus is wondering why his emergency fund has $400 in it. Marcus is wondering why at 34, he has basically zero invested for retirement. It's the truck, Marcus. It's the truck. Okay, layer 3, insurance. And this is another one where people chronically underestimate. When you buy a new $35,000 vehicle, your lender requires you to carry full coverage, comprehensive and collision, not just liability. Full coverage on a newer vehicle of that price, depending on your state, your driving record, your age, is going to run you somewhere between $150 to $250 a month. Let's call it $180 just to be reasonable. That's $2,160 a year. Over 5 years of ownership, that's $10,800 just in insurance premiums. Layer 4 is fuel. The average American drives about 15,000 miles per year, according to the Federal Highway Administration. If your $35,000 car gets, say, 28 miles per gallon, and gas is hovering around $3.50 a gallon, which has been the rough average over the past couple of years, you're spending about $1,875 a year on fuel. Over 5 years, that's $9,375. Layer 5 is maintenance and repairs. This one people always want to skip over because they think it's a new car, it won't need repairs. And they're partially right for the first year or two. But tires alone on a standard vehicle run between $600 and $1,200 every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Oil changes, brake pads, filters, the miscellaneous stuff that always comes up, AAA estimates the average annual cost of vehicle maintenance and repairs at around $1,200 per year for a typical car owner. Over 5 years, that's $6,000. And layer 6, and this is the one that almost no one ever factors in, the silent killer, is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the money you could have made if you had taken the money you spent on this car and put it somewhere that actually grows. And I know, you're saying, but I need a car. I need transportation. And yes, you're right. Everybody needs to get to work. But here's the distinction I want you to make. You need transportation. You don't necessarily need a $35,000 brand new vehicle financed at 7% interest. Let me show you what opportunity cost actually looks like in real numbers. If, instead of spending $487 a month on a car payment, you had invested that $487 every single month into a basic S&P 500 index fund, which has averaged roughly 10% annual returns over the last 50 years per data from NYU Stern, here's what happens. In 10 years, that $487 becomes approximately $99,000. In 20 years, around $371,000. In 30 years, which if you're in your late 20s or early 30s right now, we're talking about by retirement, that $487 a month compounded over 30 years at 10% becomes over $1 million. Over $1 million from one car payment. Let that sit for a second. One car payment, not even a luxury car, an average car, if redirected over 30 years, could make you a millionaire. That is the true cost of the $35,000 car. That is the number nobody shows you in the dealership. So let's add everything up now, because I want you to see the full picture in one place. Purchase price plus interest, roughly $42,500. Depreciation over 5 years, let's take the conservative estimate, $14,000 in lost value. Insurance over 5 years, $10,800. Fuel over 5 years, $9,375. Maintenance over 5 years, $6,000. and opportunity cost on those monthly payments over 5 years, assuming a modest 8% return just to be conservative, approximately $35,000 in foregone investment growth. Total 5-year true cost of a $35,000 car? Somewhere between $117,000 and $125,000. You spent over $100,000 and you have a used car worth $15,000 to show for it. That is not a purchase. That is a financial black hole. Now, I need to address something because there's always someone in the comments who says, okay, so you're saying I should just never buy a car? I should ride a bicycle to work? And no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not the point. The point is never about deprivation. The point is always about awareness. Because here's what I genuinely believe. Most people who are stretching to buy $35,000 and $45,000 vehicles are doing it without ever seeing these numbers.